Hello everyone and welcome to this brand new lecture of work power energy. So this is very conceptual chapter that we are starting today, okay? And in this lecture we are starting from basics, but then we will deal with the every concept, and we will deal with every aspect, no matter whether it is tough or easy. We are going to deal with everything, okay? So a bit of maths will be involved in between, because we are going to deal with the advanced level concept or the foundation level concepts. So we are going to see the maths involved between that also, okay? I'll let you know whatever trigonometry is being used in between, okay? So before any delay, let us start with the chapter that is known as work, power and energy. Work, power and energy. Okay. So the first thing that we are going to start is work. What is work? What is work? Okay. Work is that physical quantity which is nothing but the product of force and displacement. So work is product of force and displacement. So till now we have studied this in the junior classes also, that work is nothing but the product of force and displacement. But then have you ever thought that if the direction of force is not in the direction of displacement, or if the direction of force is perpendicular to the direction of displacement, what will happen? Okay, I mean, I'm not telling that this expression is completely wrong. This expression is correct only when force and displacement are in the same direction, okay? Or we are going to analyze this in the form that the work done by a force is nothing but the force into the displacement in that direction, okay? Or in other terms, I'll let you know, the work done by a force is nothing but the displacement into the force acting in the direction of displacement, okay? That is what we are going to analyze. This is completely correct, no issues with this, okay? Now let us analyze a situation where this is the floor, and on this floor there is a block of mass m, okay? And I am pulling it with some force at an angle theta. I am pulling it with some force at an angle theta, okay? At an angle theta, okay? Now what will happen? Let us analyze the situation. When I am pulling it in some direction, some force is going to carry this block of mass m in this direction, and some block will be pulling it in the upward direction as well. That means this force is having two components, or this force can be divided into two parts. That is what we are going to see. That means this force, although this force is in this direction, but then some component of this force is in this direction, and some component of this force is in this direction, okay? Now let us see how. We are going to see using trigonometry. So let's say this is angle theta, this is F, this is B, this is A, okay? This is F, this is B, this is A. So in a triangle there are 6 trigonometric ratios that are defined, and that are sine theta, cos theta, tan theta, cosec theta, sec theta and cot theta, okay? So if you don't understand what sine theta, cos theta is, see, because in order to understand the real concept lying behind work done and all, you need to know basics of that. So let us understand what is it. So these are the trigonometric ratios. So sine theta is perpendicular upon hypotenuse, okay? Cos theta is base upon hypotenuse. Tan theta is perpendicular upon base, okay? And whatever be the value of sine theta, cosec theta is going to be reciprocal of that. That means cosec theta is going to be h upon p, okay? Sec theta is going to be h upon b, okay? And cot theta is going to be b upon p, okay? Now I will tell you how to remember this. There is a trick to remember. Now let us understand what b, p and h is there for a given triangle, okay? For a given triangle, let's say this angle is theta, okay? So for a given triangle, the longest side is always the hypotenuse. The longest side is always the hypotenuse, okay? Now what is base and what is perpendicular. For this given angle theta, the side which is in front of it is known as perpendicular, okay, and the side which is associated with it is known as base, okay. So sin theta is going to be perpendicular upon hypotenuse, cos theta is going to be base upon hypotenuse, tan theta is going to be perpendicular upon base, okay, cot theta is going to be base upon perpendicular, sec theta is going to be h upon b, hypotenuse upon base, and cosec theta is going to be hypotenuse upon perpendicular, okay. So that is a brief discussion of what these trigonometric ratios are, okay. Now how to remember? So if you remember these three things, it is going to be easy for you to remember those three, because sine is inverse of cosec, sine is reciprocal of cosec, cos is reciprocal of sec, and tan is reciprocal of cot. So I'll give you a sentence through which we are going to remember. Some people have curly brown hair. Some people have curly brown hair, tightly pulled back. So this S for some, P for people, H for have, curly, C for curly, brown hair, again tightly pulled back. Okay. So you can see S for sin theta is going to be P upon H. Now then, this is done. C for cos theta is equal to B upon H. So brown hair, B upon H, tightly. T for tan theta is equal to P upon B, pulled back, that means P upon B. Okay. So some people have curly brown hair, tightly pulled back. That is how we are going to understand it. Okay. Now let us move forward and see this particular triangle. Now in this triangle, if you write down the value of sin theta, what will you write? Sin theta is equal to P upon H. Okay. So I can write P is equal to H sin theta. Now if you write down cos theta will be equal to B upon H. That means cos theta is equal to B upon H, or B is equal to H cos theta. That means this side is equal to this side times cos theta, and this side is equal to this side times sin theta. I hope you have got it. The base is equal to hypotenuse times cos theta, and perpendicular is equal to hypotenuse times sin theta. That is it. If you are able to get that, very good. Okay. Now this force can be resolved into two forces. Okay. Let's say there is one force like this and there is one force like this. Actually this force will be here. Okay. Why am I making it like this? Is because this force is somehow letting it move in this direction. At the same time, it is kind of pulling it in the upward direction only. Okay. Had it been this force, it would have been pulling it in the forward direction only. But then there is some upward force also. Like I am pushing it like this. So I am applying a force in this direction. So this direction will have some component in the upward direction as well as some component in the forward direction. Okay, that is what I mean. Now, as I said, for this right angle triangle, the base is nothing but hypotenuse cos theta. So the hypotenuse is nothing but the entire force F. Okay, entire force F is the hypotenuse. So base is going to be hypotenuse cos theta. Okay, and perpendicular is going to be hypotenuse sin theta. Okay, if it is clear, half of the job is done. So base is equal to hypotenuse cos theta, and perpendicular is equal to hypotenuse sin theta. Okay. Let us move forward and see what is going to happen now. Something very interesting is coming. Okay. Now work done is equal to force into displacement, that we know. Now this force is going to displace it in this direction. I mean, I'm pulling something in towards me, such that it is sliding on the floor. So it is getting displaced in the direction of force. So it will have some displacement. Let's say it is displaced to this point, and now it is present here. Now this is present here. Okay. Now what will happen? Now tell me one thing. Which force, F cos theta or F sin theta? This force is F sin theta and this force is F cos theta. Which force is responsible to slide it forward? Is it F sin theta or F cos theta? Pause the video, think a bit and answer me. Which force is responsible to move it in the forward direction? F sin theta or F cos theta? The conclusion you will get in your mind is F cos theta is moving it in the forward direction, and therefore I will write work done is equal to F cos theta into S. F cos theta into S. See, here I have written Fs because the force was in this direction and displacement was in this direction. Now this force is not in this direction. A component of this force is in this direction, and that component is F cos theta, such that work done is equal to F cos theta into S. Work done is equal to F cos theta into S. Okay, so simply you can write down work done is equal to F into S into cos theta. Force into displacement into cos theta. Now what is cos theta? Theta is the angle between the force vector and the displacement vector, right? So this theta is nothing but the angle between displacement and actual force. Displacement is in this direction, actual force is in this direction. So work done is equal to force into displacement into cos theta. So that is the 100% correct definition of work done. 100% correct definition of work done, that work done is equal to force, no matter what the direction of force is. Just write the magnitude. 10 Newton force in any direction, write down 10 Newton. Displacement 5 meter, no matter whether whatever be the direction of displacement, write down 5 meter here. Cos theta. Cos theta is something very important here. What is cos theta? The cos of the angle between force and displacement. Like force is acting in this direction, displacement is in this direction. So force and displacement, the angle is going to be obtuse angle. So cos of that obtuse angle you have to write down. Okay. So cos of that obtuse angle. So this is the field of work done. So work done is equal to force into displacement into cos theta. Okay. Now you will in the question that you are going to get, you have to find out the value of cos 30 degree, cos 0 degree, cos 45 degree, cos 60 degree, cos 90 degree. Similarly, sine of that, tan of that, cot of that, cosec of that and sec of that. So today we are going to learn how to find out the values of every trigonometric quantities at different angles. Okay. So please take the screenshot. Let us move forward to learn a bit more trigonometry, which is the reason behind learning trigonometry is that it is going to be useful in physics, especially in case of Newton's laws and work power energy. So some people have curly brown hair tightly pulled back. That is known as sin theta is equal to P upon H, cos theta is equal to B upon H, and tan theta is equal to P upon B. So now we are going to learn. Again one trick will be there. Okay, let us see. So we are going to write 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree and 90 degrees. Okay. So follow the process, it is going to be very easy. Write 0 here, 1 here, 2 here, 3 here and 4 here. Okay. Now divide everything by 4. 0 by 4, 1 by 4, 2 by 4, 3 by 4, 4 by 4. Just follow the process. Okay. Now have a root on everything. Have a square root on everything. Square root of everything. Square root of everything. Now see, here I am going to write sin theta. Here I am going to write cos, and here I am going to write tan. Okay, I should have started from above. Okay. So 0 upon 4 will be what? 0. 1 upon 4 is going to be 1 upon 4 only. Square root of 1 is 1, square root of 4 is 2. So 1 upon 2. Okay. 2 upon 4 will be 1 upon 2, that means the square root of 1 upon 2 is going to be 1 upon root 2. Okay. and it is going to be the square root of 3 is going to be root 3 and the square root of 4 is going to be 2. Okay, 4 upon 4 is going to be 1, that means it will be 1 only. Okay, so we have come to know that sine 0 degree is equal to 0, sine 30 degree is equal to half, sine 45 is equal to 1 by root 2, sine 60 is equal to root 3 by 2 and sine 90 is equal to 1. That is the process of learning, or that is the way of understanding it. Okay, okay guys. Now in order to find cos, what you will do is you will keep your hands like this. Okay, you will keep your hands like this and you are going to flip your hands. Okay, so whatever be this value is going to be at that place, whatever be this value is going to be at this place, and again these two values, this value will be at this place, this value will be at this place, and this value will remain as it is. Okay, so flip your hands. So this 1 will come there, 1 will come here, root 3 by 2 will come here. Okay, 1 by root 2 will remain as it is, middle finger. Okay, and 1 by 2 will come here and 0 will come here. Okay, 0 will come there. Now again you can see cos 0 is equal to 1, cos 45 is equal to 1 by root 2, cos 90 equal to 0. Okay, so on and so forth. Now you have to find out tan theta. So tan theta by definition is sin theta upon cos theta, and I'll show you why it is sin theta upon cos theta. Tan theta is equal to sin theta upon cos theta. So let us first prove why it is like that. So we have learned that tightly pulled back. So tan theta is equal to P upon B. Tan theta is equal to P upon B. Okay. Sin theta is equal to P upon H. So that means LHS is going to be P upon B. If you try out RHS, this is your LHS. If you try out RHS, it is going to be sin theta upon cos theta. Sin theta is some people have, so P upon H. Cos theta, brown hairs. Cos theta means brown hairs. It could be black hairs also. I'm not a racist, so it could be brown hairs, it could be black hairs. So it is going to be P upon H into H upon B. So HH will get cancelled, you will get P upon B, and this P upon B is nothing but tan theta. So I can write tan theta is equal to sin theta upon cos theta. Tan theta is equal to sin theta upon cos theta. So 0 upon 1 will be 0. Okay. Now you see that in these two the denominators are same. In these two the denominators are same. In these two also the denominators are same. So you can just copy the numerators. So 1 here and root 3 here, you can write 1 upon root 3. Okay. 1 here and 1 here, that means 1 upon 1. So it is going to be 1. Okay. Root 3 and 1, root 3 upon 1, so that is going to be root 3. And 1 upon 0 is going to be infinity. 1 upon 0 is going to be infinity. Okay. I hope this is clear to you people. What I did, I took 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Divided everything with 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. And I had a square root of everything. So then I started with sine, then cos, then tan. So sine is 0 upon 4, 0. 1 upon 4, 1 by 2. 1 upon 2, under root 1 upon 2. That is 1 upon root 2. Root 3 by 2 and 1. Okay. Cos, flip the hands. You have got sine. In order to get the cos, you have to flip your hands. So the values are going to be swapped like this. And tan is equal to sine upon cos. Okay. So if someone asks you what is the value of tan 60, you can say that tan 60 is equal to root 3. Okay. If someone asks you what is cos 60, so you can say cos 60 is 1 by 2. Okay. So on and so forth. Okay. Now sine is going to be, cosec is going to be opposite of sine. Like sine 45 is 1 by root 2. So cosec 45 is going to be root 2 upon 1, that is root 2 only. Okay. For example, again, sec is going to be reciprocal of cos. So cos 60 is 1 by 2, sec 60 will be 2. Okay. Similarly, cot is going to be opposite of or reciprocal of tan. So if tan 90 is equal to infinity, so cot 90 is going to be 1 upon infinity, that is 0. Okay. Or tan 60 is root 3, so cot 60 will be 1 by root 3. Tan 30 is 1 by root 3, so cot 60 will become root 3. So cosec is the reciprocal of sine, cot is reciprocal of tan, and sec is reciprocal of cos. So they are existing in pairs. So there are 6 trigonometric ratios that you have to remember, and from now onwards, up till whatever journey you are going to have in your career, it is going to be like JEE, it is going to be NEET, it is going to be engineering, it is going to be architecture, it is going to be anything that involves science, you are going to use this trigonometric table. So this is not just for work power energy or physics, this is going to be used everywhere, okay? So remember these things, remember this way of understanding. You can make a column. That way we are going to like seclude it. Okay, so these are the values. This is known as trigonometric table. And this is very important if you are going to learn it. I mean, it is going to play its part. Now there are other formulas also, that sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1, sec square theta minus tan square theta is equal to 1, cosec square theta minus cot square theta is equal to 1. So these formula you will be learning in maths. I am not going to tell you a lot about maths here. Okay, so these formula, and if you want me to explain these formula, just tell me any day about this. I'll be making some video, and I'll be I'll let you know everything. I'll explain the concepts to it. Okay, so draw this trigonometric table on your own. When you are done with the lecture, try to make the trigonometric table on your own, and you will find it very joyful. Okay, so that is all about the trigonometry involved in the work concept. So work done is equal to force into displacement into cos of angle between force and displacement. Okay, is it clear to all of you guys? Okay guys, so let us move forward and let us solve some questions on the concept of work. Okay, I hope this is clear to you people. Take the screenshot, and I recommend that take a printout of it and have it with you every time, because now onwards things are going to be more mathematical. Okay, these things are going to be always useful for you. So always have a note of it. Okay, so let us start doing some questions. Okay, so the first question is, a force of 14 Newton acts on a body and the body moves through 1 meter. Question is, a force of 20 Newton acts on a body. A force of 20 Newton acts on a body at an angle of 45 degree to the direction. Okay, at an angle of 45 degree with the direction of displacement. Okay, such that the displacement is 1 meter. Such that displacement is 1 meter. Now you have to find out the work done by this force. Find out work done by this force. Find out work done by this force. Okay, find out the work done by this force. Come on, pause the video, try it out, and then play it to see what I have solved. Okay, so I hope you have solved it. Let's move forward and let's solve it. Okay, so again this is the case. There is some body of mass m. Okay, and it is moving such that after some time the displacement is 1 meter. So the displacement is given as 1 meter, such that a force of 20 Newton is acting on a body at an angle of 45 degree with the direction of displacement. So displacement is in this direction. You can consider any direction of displacement. The only constant in this question is whatever be the direction of displacement you are choosing, the direction of force should be 45 degree with it. Okay, so let's say this is 45. This is the direction of force, such that the angle between them is 45 degree. Okay, so we know we have just found out the value of what the work done is. So work done is equal to force into displacement into cos of angle between them. Okay, Cos of angle between whom? Force and displacement. So it is going to be force into displacement into cos 45. 45 degree is the angle between them, right? So force is nothing but 20 Newton. I will write here. Force is 20 Newton. Displacement is 1 meter. And cos theta, cos 45. If you look at the table and if you remember the values, cos 45 value is going to be 1 by root 2. So it is going to be 1 by root 2. So I can write W is equal to 10 into 2 upon root 2, okay, or 10 root 2. 10 root 2 joules. What is the SI unit of work done? It is going to be joules. I think that I have missed that part. So let me explain that. Work done is equal to force into displacement, okay. So if the force is in Newton and the displacement is in meter, then the work done is going to be in joules, okay. So you can say that 1 joule of work is done when 1 Newton of force is moving a body by 1 meter, okay. Or you can frame the sentence, frame the answer like this, frame the definition of 1 joule like when a body is moved, or when a force of 1 Newton is acting on a body such that it is displacing the body by 1 meter, then you can say that the work done on the body is 1 joule. Okay, the work done on the body is 1 joule when a force of 1 Newton is displacing the body by 1 meter. Okay. Now work done is not having any direction. Work done is a scalar quantity. It is not having any direction, although force and displacement are having certain directions. Okay, so it will happen. You will find certain quantities that are going to be product of the vector quantities. Force and displacement both are vectors, but then the answer is going to be scalar. That is, work is a scalar. So if you are taking dot product, so you are not into that level right now that you will understand dot product and cross product. So if you are taking dot product of two vectors, it is going to be a scalar. But then if you are taking cross product of two vectors, it is going to be a vector. Okay. So 1 joule is equal to 1 Newton into 1 meter. Similarly, if you are writing it in dyne, like force is in dyne and displacement is in centimeter, so it is going to be erg. It is going to be erg. So dyne is what? 10 to the power minus 5. 10 to the power minus 5 what? Newton. Okay, centimeter is equal to 10 to the power minus 2 meter. So you can write 1 erg. 1 erg is equal to 10 to the power minus 5 and minus 7 minus 2, that is going to be minus 7. 10 to the power minus 7 joule. Okay, so 1 erg is equal to 10 to the power minus 7 joule. 10 to the power minus 7 joule, or 1 joule is equal to 10 to the power 7 erg. Okay, so erg is the CGS unit of work and joule is the SI unit of work. Okay, is this clear to you people, guys? If it is not getting clear, just ping me, just let me know, I'm available. Okay, although this lecture is recorded, but then my phone number is with you people, so just ping me, feel free to ask the doubts, or you can rewind the lecture to get the concept. Okay. Now let us take one more question to analyze the situation. Okay, a body of mass 2 kg is raised to a height of 1 meter. Find the work done by the force of gravity. Okay. A body of mass 2 kg, a body of mass 2 kg is raised to a height of 1 meter. Find the work done by the force of gravity. Body of mass 2 kg is carried up by 1 meter. Find the work done by gravity. Find the work done by gravity. Okay. So first let us analyze the situation. Okay. Body of mass 2 kg. Let's say this is the body of mass 2 kg. M is equal to 2 kg. Okay. Now what is happening? When it is here, a force is acting in the downward direction, that is mg. That is the force of gravity, isn't it? And gravity always acts downwards. Gravity always acts in the downward direction. So force is acting in this direction. Now you have to pull it. You have to bring it to us. Let's say this was kept here. This was kept on the ground. Okay. Now you are holding it and you are bringing it to a height of 1 meter. That means you are doing some work. You are doing some work. That means you are applying a force in the upward direction. Okay. Now, if it has to be moving at a zero acceleration, if it has to be moving with a constant velocity, the force that you are applying is going to be equal to mg. Okay. See, if this force is equal to mg, that means there is no net force. That means F net is equal to 0. Okay. F net is equal to mass into acceleration, that is going to be 0. Mass cannot be 0. Mass is given as 2 kg. That means acceleration is 0. And acceleration is what? Change in velocity per unit time. Acceleration is change in velocity per unit time. That means if you are pulling it with a velocity of, if you are pulling it with a force of mg, like 10 Newton was acting in the downward direction, and you are applying a force 10 Newton in the upward direction. So what will happen? It will be brought up with a constant velocity or with a zero acceleration. Okay, and it is perfectly in accordance with Newton's first law of motion. Okay. Okay, guys. So let us move forward. So now they are asking find the work done by gravity. Okay. So it is getting displaced by 1 meter. Earlier it was at this height. Now this is at this height. Okay. So this is m. This is 1 kg. Sorry, this is 1 meter. This is 1 meter. So this ball or this mass has displaced by 1 meter in the upward direction. That means displacement is in the upward direction. Displacement is in the upward direction. That is very much clear. The external force is in the upward direction, isn't it? The force that we are applying, muscular force. You all are muscular people. So you all are, you are applying a muscular force and you are applying that force in the upward direction. Okay. Now a force is acting in the downward direction, that is gravitational force. Okay. Now do you think that this force will be doing any positive work? Do you think like something is displacing in this direction and I am pulling it in the upward reverse direction? So am I doing some work? Yes, I am doing some work, but then that work is going to be negative because force and displacement are in the opposite direction. So work done by external force in this case is going to be positive because force and displacement are in the same direction, and work done by the gravitational force and the displacement is going to be negative. Okay. So what is the gravitational force? That is mg. So mg is going to be 2 into 9.8. That is going to be 19.6. Okay. So we know the formula for work done. Work done is equal to Fs cos theta. And this time we are talking about work done by gravity. So in place of F I am writing mg into S into cos theta. Okay. Now mg we have calculated 19.6. S we have calculated, S is given as 1. Cos of what angle? See, the body is displacing in this direction, the force is in this direction. So we are talking about this angle, and this angle is going to be 180 degree. 180 degree. So cos of 180 degree is going to be minus 1. Cos of 180 degree is going to be minus 1. I will show you how. So you can write 19.6 and minus 1, that means minus 19.6 joule. That is the work done by gravity. Work done by gravity when you are pulling something in the upward directions. Work done by the external force is going to be positive. Okay. So when theta will be 0, cos 0 will be 1. We have seen in the table. Now you will say that sir, we have not seen the value of cos 180 in the table. So for that I can explain using multiple ways. Let us analyze the graph of cos theta. Shall I rub it? I hope you have taken the screenshot. I am going to rub it. Okay. So the graph of cos theta is somewhat like this. So this is 0 degree, this is 90 degree, this is again 180 degree, this is going to be 270 degree, and this is going to be 360 degree. Okay, so you can see after 360 degree the same curve will repeat. Okay, the same curve will repeat. So 360 is nothing but 2 pi, because pi is equal to 180, we all know. So 2 pi is equal to 360. So we call such graphs as periodic graphs. We call such graphs as periodic graphs having a period is equal to 2 pi. So this is a periodic function or a periodic graph in which the period is 2 pi. Similarly, for sine theta also, its period is 2 pi. Okay. So what do I mean by that? Now this graph says that cos of 0 is, this value is 1, and this maximum minimum value is minus 1. So cos 0 is 1, cos 90 is 0. Okay. We have seen in the trigonometric table that cos 90 value is 0, and cos 180 is going to be minus 1. Again, cos 270 is 0, cos 360 is 1. Again, this is going to be what? Cos of 450. 360 plus 90, 450. It is going to be again what? 0. So it keeps on repeating. The values keep on repeating. So you can see cos 180 is equal to minus 1. So from here I can write cos of 180 is equal to minus 1. Okay. That was one way of analyzing. Another way of analyzing is the formula of cos theta. I am going to rub it. So there is a formula of cos 2 theta that you are going to see in your higher classes, that cos 2 theta is equal to cos square theta minus sin square theta. Okay. Now you are stuck with the value of cos 180 degree. You don't know. In the problem given, you don't know the value of cos 180 degree. So how you are going to use it? So you have to use cos of 180 degree. Okay. Now replace this 2 theta with 180. So 2 theta is equal to 180. So theta is going to be what? 90 degree. Okay. So cos 2 theta is equal to cos square theta minus sin square theta. So cos 180 is going to be cos square 90 minus sin square 90. Okay. Putting in the formula. So it is going to be cos square 90 minus sin square 90. Okay. And we have just seen that cos 90 is 0, so 0 square, and sin 90 is 1, so sin 90 is 1, so that means 1 square. So 0 square will be 0, 1 square will be 1, that means minus 1. So using this formula also we got cos 180 is equal to minus 1. So I mean the life is going to be tough now, because you have to learn a lot of formula. You have to learn a lot of formula. Okay. So cos 2 theta is equal to cos square theta minus sin square theta. I hope this is clear to all of you. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. Let us move forward and let us take some more questions to analyze this. Okay.